Ernesto Che Guevara, a name that means revolution, wasn't born into a life of fighting. Instead, his early years were marked by a sense of normalcy and comfort, far removed from the tumultuous paths he would later tread. He was born in Rosario, Argentina on June 14, 1928, a city known for its vibrant culture and rich history. The bustling streets and scenic landscapes of Rosario would be the backdrop of his formative years. The oldest of 5 kids in a middle-class family, Ernesto, nicknamed Tete, seemed set for a comfortable life. His parents, Celia and Ernesto Guevara Lynch, provided a nurturing environment filled with love and intellectual stimulation. But life had other plans. The serene and predictable life of Rosario was soon disrupted by Ernesto's health issues. As a child, Ernesto had really bad asthma, which kept him inside a lot. This chronic condition was a significant challenge, but it also became a catalyst for his intellectual growth, so he read tons of books from his family's library. The vast collection of literature opened up new worlds and ideas to young Ernesto, sparking his imagination and curiosity. He loved Jules Verne, Alexandre Dumas and Jack London, stories about adventure and fairness. These tales of heroism and justice resonated deeply with him, planting the seeds of his future revolutionary ideals. But Ernesto wasn't just a bookworm. Despite his health issues, he had a zest for life and a competitive spirit. When he felt well enough, he loved playing rugby and swimming. These activities not only provided physical exercise, but also taught him the value of teamwork and perseverance. He always wanted to be the best, a drive that would later show up in his revolutionary life. This determination and resilience were evident even in his childhood pursuits. As Ernesto grew up, he read Karl Marx, who criticized capitalism. These readings were more than just academic exercises. They were transformative experiences that shaped his worldview. These ideas shaped Ernesto's views, making him question unfairness and want a better world. The seeds of rebellion were sown early, nurtured by his readings and personal experiences, setting the stage for the revolutionary leader he would become. Ernesto didn't become a revolutionary overnight. It was a gradual transformation, a journey that took him through the heart of Latin America, exposing him to the harsh realities of life that many people faced. It happened slowly as he traveled around Latin America. Each city, each village, and each encounter left a mark on him, shaping his thoughts and beliefs. In 1950, at 22, he rode a shaky bicycle 4,000 miles across northern Argentina. This wasn't just a physical journey, it was a journey of the soul, a quest for understanding and empathy. This trip showed him how poor people and native communities lived. He saw their struggles, their resilience, and their spirit. It was an eye-opening experience that made him question the social structures around him. He saw how unequal things were, and it really affected him. The stark contrast between the rich and the poor was glaring, and it stirred something deep within him. The next year, Ernesto and his friend Alberto Granado took a motorcycle trip across South America. This wasn't just an adventure, it was a journey that would change their lives forever. This adventure, which became the movie The Motorcycle Diaries, changed Ernesto's life. It was during this trip that he truly began to understand the depth of social injustice and the need for change. From Machu Picchu to leper colonies in Peru, he saw poverty and unfairness everywhere. The beauty of the landscapes was in stark contrast to the suffering of the people. He listened to miners, farmers, and workers, and their stories made him angry about the problems in South America. These trips changed Ernesto. He was no longer just a curious traveler. He was becoming a man with a mission. He wasn't just a dreamer anymore. The experiences had ignited a fire within him, a desire to fight for those who couldn't fight for themselves. He believed in Marxist ideas and revolution. He started reading revolutionary literature, immersing himself in the works of Marx, Engels, and Lenin. He came home to Argentina a different person. The young medical student who had left was now a man with a vision of a fairer, more just world. He'd studied to be a doctor to help people, but now he had a new goal, to fight for fairness and become a revolutionary. His journey of awakening was complete, and a new journey was about to begin. Ernesto's life changed dramatically in 1955 when he met Fidel Castro, a passionate Cuban lawyer who was also deeply committed to the idea of revolution. Castro, who had already made a name for himself as a young lawyer, was fervently opposed to the oppressive regimes that plagued Latin America. His charisma and determination were palpable, and Ernesto was immediately drawn to his vision for a free and just society. They met in Mexico City, a bustling hub for exiles and revolutionaries from across Latin America. Both men were far from their homelands, united by a common goal to overthrow the corrupt and tyrannical governments that oppressed their people. In the vibrant and politically charged atmosphere of Mexico City, they found kindred spirits and began to lay the groundwork for their revolutionary plans. Castro was meticulously planning a revolt against Fulgencio Batista, the dictator who had seized control of Cuba in a military coup in 1952. Batista's regime was marked by corruption, brutality, and a blatant disregard for the welfare of the Cuban people. The need for change was urgent, and Castro was determined to lead the charge. Ernesto, inspired by Castro's unwavering commitment and bold ideas, decided to join his cause. The two men quickly formed a close bond, united by their shared vision of a better future for Cuba and Latin America. Together, they began to recruit and organize a group of dedicated revolutionaries who were willing to risk everything for the cause. Around this time, Ernesto acquired the nickname Che, an Argentine slang word he used frequently in conversation. The term, which means friend or mate, quickly caught on among his comrades. It was a fitting moniker for a man who was not only a fierce revolutionary, but also a loyal and trusted friend. Castro and the other Cuban revolutionaries began using the nickname too, and it soon became an integral part of Ernesto's identity. Che symbolized his deep connection to the revolutionary cause and his solidarity with his fellow fighters. It was a name that would become legendary in the annals of history. In Mexico, Che and Castro, along with their growing band of revolutionaries, underwent rigorous training in guerrilla warfare. They learned the tactics and strategies necessary to wage a successful insurgency, honing their skills in the art of combat and survival. The training was grueling, but it forged a strong sense of camaraderie and determination among the group. They mastered the techniques of sabotage, learning how to disrupt and dismantle the enemy's operations. They also developed methods to effectively spread their revolutionary message, using propaganda to inspire and mobilize the Cuban population. Every day brought them closer to their ultimate goal, the liberation of Cuba from Batista's oppressive rule. In November 1956, after months of preparation, 82 determined revolutionaries crammed onto a small yacht called Granma. The vessel was barely seaworthy, but it was their only means of reaching Cuba. They set sail from Mexico, braving the treacherous waters of the Caribbean with a sense of hope and resolve. Their landing on the Cuban coast was fraught with challenges. Batista's army was well prepared and launched a fierce counter-attack. The revolutionaries faced overwhelming odds, but their determination and courage kept them fighting. This initial clash marked the beginning of a long and arduous struggle for control of the island. This marked the start of the Cuban Revolution, a protracted and bloody conflict that would ultimately reshape the nation. Over the next few years, Che Guevara emerged as a key figure in the revolution, his bravery and leadership earning him a place in history. The revolution not only changed Cuba, but also cemented Che's legacy as a symbol of resistance and hope for oppressed people everywhere. Che Guevara became really famous. He gave powerful speeches at the United Nations in 1964, talking about his beliefs. He traveled the world, supporting revolutions and making allies. Even though it was dangerous, he kept fighting for socialism and freedom. Che Guevara's ideas still inspire people today. Che Guevara started to feel disappointed. His dream of a united Latin America seemed impossible. He left Cuba, his family, his friends, and the revolution to find new fights. In Bolivia, things were really hard for Che. People didn't trust him, nobody helped him, and the Bolivian army, with help from the CIA, hunted him down. Even so, Che never gave up. After Che was captured and killed, he became a symbol. His ideas inspired revolutionaries everywhere. His picture became a symbol of fighting back. Today, Che Guevara is still a powerful figure. He represents hope for a better world and the struggles of revolution. People still argue about his life and choices, but he definitely changed history.